It's one of the most sensitive issues in Indonesia, raising the fuel price. Thousands of workers are venting their anger at the presidential palace against a 33% hike announced for April. For weeks all over the country, protests have been held against a controversial measure. The government says that high global oil prices are making the costly fuel subsidies too expensive.
There are other measures the government can take apart from rising the fuel price. We all know corruption in Indonesia is among the highest in the whole world. And we also all know that the government's income from tax is still very low. Big companies are still not fully paying tax.
Indonesia pays around $15 billion a year on fuel subsidies, making fuel still relatively cheap compared to other countries. 1 liter now costs around 50 cents and will go up to around 66 cents. But for an estimated 100 million Indonesians living on about $2 a day, this makes a big difference. Not only transport costs, but food prices also will go up. Still, according to economists, the government has no choice.
Fuel subsidies are obviously very unproductive, and they're also geared more towards helping the middle class. They don't help the poorest. So by diverting this money into infrastructure, one sets the scene for a medium-term growth being stronger, and also you have more room to protect the poorest.
The government has promised to compensate 18 million poor people by giving them around $16 a month. But most workers are not poor enough to get this cash handout.
Angry workers here at the presidential palace. They say they will do everything to stop the government from raising the fuel price. Because despite government packages to compensate the poor, the workers say they will be unfairly hit hard.
President Yudhoyono has said that some groups are using the fuel price hike to try to topple him. But to many Indonesians, what matters most is the question: will they be able to pay their bills next month? Vaessen, Al Jazeera, Jakarta.